So I got a comment on one of my videos. It was a why I don't date black men video, and they were saying a bunch of things and I deleted it. But it was something like, I'm a white supremacist in the making and I'm trying to capitalize off of diversion of black people. So yeah, that video only has 5K views after a year. I don't think that many people care too much. But yeah, my thing with white supremacy is that it's for white people, it's not for black people. I think the same thing with patriarchy. Patriarchy is made to benefit men, not women, so, why are you believing in it? So I don't know if this person was a black person or if they were another mixed person or if they were light skinned or dark skinned, but yeah, this was a type of thing I wanted to talk about regarding mixed and light skinned people. So yeah, they were like saying that a black man saying that he prefers light skinned women is like a white person saying the N-word. Okay, my thought on this is, yeah, I used to get annoyed by black men doing this, and I'd be like, seriously, go like your own women. But I think I explained my stance thoroughly on that video, so this person must not have actually watched much of it. So yeah, generally black men treat me well, but but yeah, these type of black men to me seem desperate for anybody. When they talk about their appeal, they talk about things that are so limited. They mentally degrade themselves. The only value they think of themselves for is body parts and sex. I used to think light-skinned women who entertain these type of black men were slow. It's like you want the world full of self-hating, dark-skinned black people. I've always just found it strange and annoying when women are obsessed with whether or not a man thinks she's physically attractive. Like, to me, you're looking for outside validation, which means that your opinion of yourself is not high enough. But, I don't really change my views that much, but I like to look at things from different angles. I like to add to my views. But anyways, yeah, I think that women who are willing to do that, it's like a self-esteem issue. They have an issue with themselves racially. They have a self-esteem issue with being black. They go and express that on dark-skinned black women in hopes they can be seen as better. I just think it's sad when people diminish themselves like this. Like, you want to be preferred by people who don't even want themselves. Seems like you're signing your life over to misery. The people who say that this is a privilege have low self-esteem. To me, it's like they aren't afraid of thugs and they want to be harassed. I guess it wouldn't be harassment to them, but it kind of shows that they're just out here for any black man. So the ones who pursue most aggressively will have dibs. But with these type of situations with self-hate, it's like, I don't care if someone is self-hating, as long as you're not discriminating against black people, other black people. I mean, you know yourself better than anyone else, so you know why you should hate yourself. I mean, at this point, it doesn't even matter what I think. I just go off of what you think about yourself. But there's children involved in these situations. So it sounds like you're saying you want to create a dysfunctional family. So when we're talking about privilege, I think it depends on context. I think there is a negative connotation with being black in some instances. So if you're light, if you're biracial, that might seem like there's distancing from being perceived as black. I would sometimes get this with like Asians or Hispanics. Like I had this one friend who was Mexican, and one time she was like, "Oh, you're not like those blacks," making an implication. And then I knew this one guy who was Brazilian. He was trying to pursue me, but he would, a couple times he made these offhand comments about black women, and insinuating in a way that it didn't apply to me. Obviously I didn't accept his advances. But to me, it's like these people are doing this. They're making these sorts of comments because they have an insecurity with themselves racially and they take it out on black people. So to me, that's a self-esteem issue, and it's not something that I would engage. Like, I don't have any different reaction from, this sort of thing than from if someone was being like discriminatory towards me. And so, yeah, to me, the so-called privilege in the black community is kind of like the same thing, light-skinned people being preferred for dating, or light-skinned children being preferred. Light-skinned people aren't doing that to themselves, so why get mad at them? So yeah, if I'm not taking or benefiting from the privilege, then I don't see how there is light-skinned privilege. Outside of the black community, I should be getting something that dark-skinned people aren't getting, but yeah, I haven't seen that. Like, it's 2023, we've all seen successful dark-skinned black people. And often it's claimed in the media there is light skin privilege. But often the celebrities that are pointed to as having light skin privilege, they aren't even light skinned, they're like brown. Like, I don't look at Beyonce or Rihanna and think that they're light skinned. They look brown skinned to me. They look more in common with dark skinned black people than light skinned. To me, light skin is like Faith Evans, Mariah Carey, Tinashe, Tisha Campbell, Halsey, Rashida Jones. Like if we go off the colorism argument, shouldn't the most famous and successful celebrities be light skinned? That's not really what I've seen. I see a lot of successful brown skinned celebrities. And I think on average, black Americans are like brown skin. I think that's what I've seen. I've seen a range of skin tones, but I think like brown to caramel is most common. But with biracials in the media, there are a lot of biracials in the entertainment industry. They are pretty represented. There are some tan, there are some light, there are some brown skin biracials. I think there's a few different reasons for this. I don't think it's all down to just being lighter skinned. I think part of it is that black people sometimes have this thing where they want to distance themselves or differentiate themselves from like the white establishment. So I think that's a part of what's going on, like a friction. That's a part of it that may be less with biracials who have a white parent. Like these issues, like saying things like racism, slavery, not wanting to be lumped in with white people. My thing is, why are you blaming white people today for something that happened a long time ago? It's not like they don't like white people or have a lack of attraction to white people. They need reasons not to be attracted to them. They're not only attracted to black women or black men. Most people, we are attracted to are white because we're in a majority white country. So what kind of excuse are you going to use to not be attracted to white people? Basically that they are slave owners, something is inherently wrong with them. Slavery is an idea that people use to make it look like there's something wrong with white people. When talking about the media, people say it's beauty standards with light skin privilege. But I don't think that's all it. If you look at the modeling industry, it seems like most of the black models are dark skinned from what I've seen. Anyways, there's a lot of ambiguity in the black race anywho. I'm not an actor or anything like that. If I was, I don't think I'm very black looking, especially since I'm very light skinned as well. So I wouldn't take a role for a black person. I would take a role for a biracial, Latina, or a Jewish person. If I was more black looking or black passing, then yeah, I would take up a role for a black person. That's what acting is anyway, being someone that you're not. I would think the same. Say they were doing a story on a biracial person, there was a black person that looked the part, then I don't see any problem if they could portray the character. The whole problem with this concept of privilege with dark-skinned people is like, I have the short end of the stick, so I can treat you how I want because you already have privilege, so why should we benefit you? But you have to treat me with respect. Light-skinned people are expected to serve the greater good for dark-skinned black people. If it is believed they are privileged, then why should they be benefited by the black race? This dynamic harms light-skinned people. It diminishes them. Dark-skinned people will use their dark skin as an advantage to lighter-skinned people. Lighter-skinned people are treated as if they don't have an identity of their own. They're deduced, they're used and fetishized basically. You can't have a good self-esteem about yourself as a lighter-skinned person because it's seen as a sign of hate, because it's a threat to them. So this is what happens in the black community. They feel entitled to lighter-skinned people and think lighter-skinned people should use their privilege to advocate for the black community. But then lighter-skinned people get accused of trying to erase black people, getting told they're not even black, etc., etc. When really it was a lighter-skinned person that got erased all along. It's kind of hard to talk about this topic because people tend to be sensitive and hostile about these kinds of things. I feel like there is colorism in reverse because you'll negate and say that the only reason someone is seen as attractive or is successful is because of light skin. I don't really see anyone nullifying dark-skinned people like that. I think this all comes down to what you equated light skin as in your head, thinking light skin equals beauty, light skin equals success, light skin equals privilege, light skin equals easy life. And this is why you bought into colorism in the first place. You think of light skin and you think of all these positive attributes when it's just a skin color and doesn't equate to any of that. And that's why you equated blackness to inferiority and degeneracy, because you're implying that you believe in racism and that white people are at the top and black people are at the bottom. I do not believe that blackness is inferior, like you're trying to imply. I do not believe that black people are inferior to white people, at least not to the level that would equate to the degeneracy that you're talking about. So dark-skinned people need to appreciate their skin color and not try to search for validation from others. The whole problem is dark-skinned people have this problem where they don't like their skin tone. Not all of them, of course, but the ones who have this issue have an issue with dark skin. The problem is if you don't like dark skin, then you need others to value it to convince you that it's a good thing. I don't think all dark-skinned people are like this. I think a lot of dark-skinned people embrace what they are, but then there's those who don't. They turn dark skin into something negative and unwanted and undesirable when it should be appreciated and uplifted by them. They value other people's skin color over their own. I don't know, they're just conditioned to see it like this. When you make yourself out to look like what you have is wrong and inferior, then it devalues it. That is them inflicting self-hate on themselves and those that look like them, not colorism. I've never tried to feed into anything like that. I've never thought I had privilege for being light-skinned. When you want to feel like there's a privilege on the colorism hierarchy, there's an insecurity there. You don't really feel there's much for you to go off of, so you get a boost on thinking you have it better than someone.